Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is of course Colton, and today I will be making for you the first soap in our Citrus in July 2026 collection. That soap is of course titled Very Saint-Tropez. If you are new to RainBro Crafts, we do a collection each July that's called Citrus in July. It is a kind of lame joke take on Christmas in July that usually happens, and you can buy like mattresses and whatever else on sale. We took that idea and came up with Citrus in July. Fun fact, citrus scented soaps and candles and things like that are the #1 scent category that people say they want from us, and our sales of specifically the Citrus in July collections, at least historically speaking, lend truth to that statement or that sentiment. This soap, Very Saint-Tropez, I am starting out by blitzing up our normal soap base, and I have added some turmeric powder to the lye water. That's why it's that bright orange color, which, as you know, if you've watched our videos for a while, I'm obsessed with. And then I am going to be adding our fragrance oil. This is Tarocco Orange from the Flaming Candle Company, and it is a really tasty fragrance oil. This is the first scent that we've ever used from this brand, and we have another one that will be coming out later in this collection as well that is from them. But the fragrances are Tarocco Orange, kumquat, goji berries, kiwi, some other ripe berries, and then there's a nice vanilla note to it that kind of grounds everything. And in case you weren't aware, because I for sure was not aware until we got this fragrance oil, a Tarocco Orange is a blood orange specifically from Sicily, Italy, that is really sweet and juicy, super brightly colored, and that matches this specific fragrance oil a lot. When I was coming up with the design for this, I was having that like bright citrusy kind of like coastal tropical Mediterranean vibe in mind, which is why I have this turmeric colored soap base in the bottom, which will change colors and mellow down considerably. Right now it is very brightly orange colored, but the final result is not going to stay that way, which I love, but also I don't love, because this color was super fun. But it will fade to a nice kind of like sandy, sun-drenched coastal brown color, which I am obsessed with in the final product. Funnily enough, this fragrance oil does smell pretty similar to our own signature candle scent that we made called Kentucky Mule. It's a take on a Kentucky Mule cocktail, and it has blood orange, which this is primarily a blood orange scented fragrance, some ginger, and some saffron. So those scents are pretty similar to this fragrance oil. And when we were using this soap bar, I was like, I know this scent from somewhere. And then I was like, yeah, it's one of our best-selling scents that we have, our Kentucky Mule candle, and we've had it as a soap as well. And I do have a video, because we did a collaboration with Dovetail Cellars that uses that fragrance oil in their wine. So I'll put a card up in the corner so you can watch that. So for the bottom layer, I blitzed it all up. I did some really big, like, gestural swipes with my bar spoon. Let it set up for a little bit. Blitzed up the top layer, and this just has some copper mica in it and some coconut husk, because I wanted a scrubby top texture and kind of a like smoother bottom texture. Turmeric, in my experience at least, does have a slightly sandy texture to it adds a texture to the soap batter, which I do like, so we're using that to our advantage as well. I did get a little excited and poured without using my spatula to break the fall of the soap batter, and the bottom layer was pretty well set up, but it could have been set up a little bit more. Thankfully, this design could be a little messy, and it didn't really do a whole lot, which is always nice. We will pour that as evenly as possible into our 2 slab molds there. Scrape out every little bit. As with most new fragrances, it's always kind of a little scary to not know how it's going to perform in terms of accelerating or ricing or anything like that. And while reviews online do tell a story, it's not ever the full story. This does not accelerate, at least in my experience. It didn't rice either, which was great. Usually citrus-based fragrances, so essential oils and fragrance oils, regardless, don't tend to accelerate soap batter, cold process soap batter, and usually it actually kind of decelerates the trace process, so you have a little more working time. This one didn't slow down the process, but it definitely didn't speed it up, which is always a great surprise. For the top design, again, I let this set up for a little while just till it was workable. I'm using my bar spoon and basically replicating the texture I did on that bottom layer up on this top layer. I was wanting like very natural, organic swoops, very like expressive and kind of fun and playful, which this fragrance oil is that. I'll make sure I got all of those spots. I will spritz this with some rubbing alcohol and tuck it away for 24 hours, and then it is time to unmold and slice up. And you can already see that color has changed quite a bit. It's mellowed out, it's more tan, it's less like bright orange than before. And it will continue to mellow out over the next month that we let our soap cure for till it gets to its final stage. And I'll put a picture up in one of the corners here, but it is the thumbnail picture too, so if you saw that, that was the final soap. This video and all of the Citrus in July videos are coming out in July instead of the month prior, because with our Pride events and all of that stuff, time just got away from me. So I will be having out all of these videos because Citrus in July is our most favorite collection, and it is the one that people come back to get every single year. So I want to make sure to get those videos up. My random question for you all is, and I kind of think this might have been a question in the past, but I'm going to ask it again, is have you run a 5K or a 10K or any kind of like organized runs? This was just a random generated question from the internet. I have done 3 5Ks and 1 10K, and actually on Sunday I'll be doing my second 10K, but it is a quarter marathon, so it's a little more than 10 kilometers, and I'll be doing that one on Sunday, and then I actually signed up for a half marathon in August, I think, the end of August, so got to get my tail in gear and get training for that. But that is it. This is our Very Saint-Tropez soap. The name was inspired by a Drag Race Season 4 quote from Jiggly Caliente. So if you're not familiar with that, definitely check it out. But it's also a reference to the fragrance and the orange that the fragrance is named after. Definitely check out this soap if you love a citrus scent. Also, definitely check out the Flaming Candle for fragrance oils, because at least for the 2 that we've used so far, we are very impressed with it. So definitely check them out. Thanks for watching. If you want to get soaps, candles, or bath bombs sent to your house each and every month, check out our website, rainbrocrafts.com, to join this lovely group of individuals who are up on screen right now. They get soaps or candles sent to their house, or they pick them up in person from us as a thank you for supporting our company. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video. Comment down below if you've done any sort of organized races before. Also subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon so you get notified when we release new videos. Thanks. Bye.